To the point that you raised earlier about the attitude of business at the moment, unemployment figures came out, and in a sense they showed that the daily job shedding announcements, they put those into some sort of perspective as spot fires, and then Treasury Secretary Martin Parkinson had this to say.
It's almost as if most Australians seem to think we live in Greece. We don't. I mean, we actually have an incredibly bright future ahead of us.
Well, as Tanya Plibersek almost said up there early on, that you've never had it so good. I think this does go to the point that the economy is this real two-speed economy thing. The job numbers this week were much better than we thought, but basically job creation net has been pretty flat. Politics has really been...
That's a good thing, isn't it?
Well, you've got a mining boom going on.
For every job that's being lost, another one is being
created.
Well,
I think we want a bit more job growth.
Flat.
It's a bit flat at the moment. But I think what happened with politics has been captured by job losses largely in manufacturing, protected manufacturing in the southeast corner of Australia. And that's where the mining boom is squeezing the manufacturing sector through the high dollar. This is the adjustment occurring. Yep. And the Labor strategy has been trying to sort of grab the Howard battlers, the blue-collar factory workers, and say, we're going to protect your jobs. And that's what the car industry protection has been all about. What Martin Parkinson also said during the week, the night before really, was he blew the whistle on that strategy and said that subsidies to so-called strategic industries are costly, and they end up hurting the poor. This is the old story of protection, what the government is trying to do and make a political strategy of protecting car industry.
But, I mean, it's not just the government, is it? I mean, the Coalition has a cut of $500 million from car industry assistance, but it's an open question. Tony Abbott says there would have to be, he wants a car industry.
Sure, well, I'm saying politics generally is being captured by this battle for the southeast Australia blue collar. But now where Labor gets into trouble is with Alcoa. When Alcoa gets into trouble, they're in a bit of a jam now, because do they protect then and throw money at the aluminium industry, where under the carbon tax, and this is the split between green and blue Labor, under the carbon tax, the aluminium industry will cut in half by 2050.
But rather than talk about protection and so on, go back to Martin, the sentiment that he expresses, that this is not Greece, things are going okay. Why then are people so anxious? Are they anxious because they've got high mortgages, there's superannuation, nothing's happening there?
I don't think anybody is efficiently telling the story of the Australian economy at the moment. Labor's sort of trying to, but every time they talk about a two-speed or a two-lane economy, they're emphasising the fact that there's a slow lane. And I also don't... And the Coalition it's in their interest to talk up the bad news, not the good news, talk up the job cuts, not the job creation.
And the fear of what might lie ahead because of overseas
Well, that's true. But also, I think politicians aren't being entirely honest about what the transition means. So they say, yes, we're economy in transition and a new economy and new jobs for the future, but they don't come right out and say, and that means that some places are going to shut, but new jobs are going to be created over here, and we will help the workers through that transition. We won't prop up the companies that are not surviving in a high-dollar environment. They're not prepared to say that up front and out loud, and so people are confused.
But I think the mystery is that, yes, but nevertheless, unemployment is still 5.1%, which is historic. It's low. It is low, and I think you're right, Barry. I think it is the fact many of us locked into high mortgages when the going was good, and that's a struggle always, and watching what your superannuation is doing, if you do look at it, is unnerving.
OK, more with the panel shortly, including Anna Bligh's rather extraordinary attack under parliamentary privilege. More with the panel shortly. Here's Mike Bowers now and Talking Pictures.